Mr Medic.
Thank you, Acting President. I intend to make my contribution on this matter short, but I would like to offer my perspective as someone who has worked on many of the buildings that are at the centre of this terrible situation. Through no fault of their own, Victorians have been placed into a situation where their home, their investment, is a time bomb, one that puts their lives at risk and those of their friends and neighbours. My union, the CFMMEU, has a proud tradition of banning unsafe building materials, even blocking them from transport from the docks in the case of imports, or stopping their unloading from the ships altogether, all with the steadfast support of our maritime union comrades. When we examined the issue of cladding, workers like myself saw these materials installed on a daily basis. None of us knew that it was something that was putting lives at risk. Had we known, I'm very confident some action would have been taken. Instead, we just went about our jobs, oblivious to the problem we were an unknowing participant in creating. That's why I'm pleased to see that the government is committing to remove the financial burden that otherwise would be falling firmly into the hands of those unsuspecting residents, a burden that should be placed at the feet of the developers who knowingly use these materials, developers that purchasers would have to pursue through the courts, most likely not only losing their life savings, but probably the property that landed them in such a terrible situation as well. I am also pleased the government will take these developers to court to see recompense for all taxpayers who have been the bank that funds this vital safety program. At least now, that can be of some comfort. The process will not be swift, because the magnitude of the problem means that identification and remediation works must be carried out professionally with care for the residents uppermost in mind, something the builders gave no consideration, putting profits ahead of safety. Those of us who have worked on large-scale projects know that feeling well. I support this legislation, and I hope it mends the lives of so many whose sense of living in a safe environment has been taken from them, and that they feel their home can be safe. On a final note, it's been stated that this is a new tax. I would like to quote US Supreme Court Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr. "I like taxes. With them I buy civilisation." We are an evolving society, and should a so-called new tax be required to ensure the lives of others are safe, I, for one, am happy to pay my part. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.